Hello. Greetings from my new apartment. Scott and I are in the process of moving. We've been in the process of moving for about 2 weeks now, and we are finally about wrapped up with the old place. I said goodbye to it for the last time yesterday, which was a mix of emotions because it was a great chapter in my life, but I'm also really excited to be in our new space and starting this new chapter of our life. So we're pretty much all moved over here, and now we are in the mix of unpacking and decorating and ordering a lot of new furniture. So a lot of newness, which is awesome with like the second half of the year and just like this whole phase of my personal journey that I am in right now. So feels really, really good. Anyway, I want to hop on here today and talk to you about something that has been really, really impactful in my own life this year. And it's been so helpful for working with clients and the work I do to really help women to look and feel amazing without dieting, without deprivation, without restriction, without rules or any of that. So I really specialize in teaching women, especially around food and body, how to create a relationship with their bodies and with food that's really, really loving, really compassionate, really gentle, and also just like really natural, easy, and free. I always talk about, I was on here a couple weeks ago just saying, ditch the drama around food and tune into your body, check into your body. So it's definitely something that is easier said than done. I know, coming from someone who I spent over 20 years of my life struggling with diets and constantly, following rules or being on plans or strict programs and like kind of needing all of those guidelines before I just figured out eventually how to work with my body and how to tune in and how to eat intuitively. So the thing that I want to share with you today is like an absolute game changer. I use the term game changer a lot, but like this really is it. And it can be applied to food and movement and all choices around your body and also just all choices in your life. And this little gem or big gem originally came from Brooke Castillo, who is a phenomenal life coach who has been around for many years, just sharing all kinds of goodness. And the question is that we're going to talk about today in this gem, the question to ask yourself when you're about to make any choice, any decision, is what would love feel like? Yeah, just soak that in. What would love feel like? So when you're asking yourself this, like I said, it is a complete game changer. It changes everything. And it's really the only thing you ever need. Again, seriously. And, honoring it, listening, knowing the answer, listening to it and honoring it is a whole next step. But really, if you're asking this question and coming from this place and being honest about the answer and then acting on that, like that changes everything and that simplifies everything and that makes life fantastic and allows you to take the absolute best care of yourself. And so asking what would love feel like when it comes to meal choices, day to day, if you're asking yourself what would love feel like 7 days a week, the answer is probably not going to be like a burger and fries 7 days a week or ice cream 7 days a week. You'd feel kind of sluggish, probably like foggy, cloudy, like not, that wouldn't feel loving if you were constantly eating that stuff. So day to day, if you truly tune in and say, what would love feel like? It's probably going to be some greens, some lean proteins, some plant foods, some, good stuff from the earth, right? The foods that really give us a lot of energy, make us think more clearly, feel productive, feel, just energized. That's probably the answer a good amount of the time. So what would love feel like? But if you also picture that, you're out to dinner and you open up this menu and like, let's say you're at like an Italian restaurant and it's just beautiful and you're just enjoying the atmosphere and everything. Like when you say, what would love feel like in this moment? Like, what do I want? And I'm hungry. I'm always hungry. I can always eat. But when you ask yourself, and then like, what would love feel like? It's probably not like the salad, right? Like, not for me. Like, that wouldn't be loving. That would feel like restriction. That would feel like sadness. Like, why am I eating this lettuce? Like, I am admiring everyone else's plate, right? So like asking what would love feel like might feel like a big dish of pasta, you know, or ordering the ravioli or whatever it is, the pizza, the flatbread pizza looks awesome, or whatever it is, seriously, you know, whatever is calling to you, like that thing on the menu that you're like, that's what I want. And I teach people this with the menu, to honor what you truly want, because it goes a long way. Because when you have it, you know, you kind of honor that craving, you enjoy it, you enjoy every bite, the smell, the taste, the whole experience, like really, really enjoy it. And then you're good. And what happens when you don't honor that is, say you're like, I really want this, but I'm going to be good. I'm going to order the salad. Again, kind of tastes like sadness, kind of tastes like deprivation, like restriction, like meh. And then like this used to happen to me when I used to restrict myself. Then I would go home later and be like searching for something. I'd be, you know, digging for some candy or chips or like something, because you're not satisfied because you just didn't honor what you wanted in the first place. So instead, like, what would love feel like? I really like this pasta is calling to me, and I'm going to get it, and I'm going to enjoy every bite. And what happens when you really honor what you want and you treat yourself with love, whether that's kale or pizza, you know, whether it's green juice or an ice cream cone, when you really, really honor it, you'll find that then you enjoy the experience, you enjoy the food, and you stop when you're full too. Because what would love feel like? Love doesn't feel like overeating until your pants are like tight and you feel stuffed and uncomfortable, right? Love feels like savoring your meal, enjoying your food, like nourishing your body, and coming from that perspective of truly loving yourself. So again, huge game changer around food. This can also be applied to movement. So, you know, back in the day, old me was like, all right, I have to work out this many days a week. It usually was 6 or 7 days a week, pretty intense, pretty rigid. It was like this many hours of this and these exercises for strength training, and like has to be, and like can't miss a day, because who knows what, whatever I was thinking back then. But like, what would love feel like? Honestly, I'm trying to think. Last Thursday, I woke up and like my body was just like, I had crushed it in workouts for almost a solid week before. I'd really been pushing in my workouts, and I was just like, ooh, I am stiff. So when I tuned in and I asked myself what would love feel like, that day I was originally planning on going to bar class, which is my primary strength training, is Pure Barre. But I was like really achy, really stiff. My body wasn't feeling it. It was also like a really nice day out. So when I tuned in and asked what would love feel like, that looked like a walk. And I took a walk that morning with my husband, and it was just like really nice, getting out, getting fresh air, moving my body, but in a really like gentle, chill way. Or some days it's like, you know, I don't feel like doing like a full workout. Again, maybe a walk, maybe some stretching, maybe I switch it up and take like a yin yoga class or whatever. And then other days you might be like, what would love feel like? Like, I need to push it. Like, maybe I'll hit I love cycle bars. So cycle bar class, I need those endorphins. I need the energy. You know, maybe you have a lot of pent up energy. Maybe it's a good day for a run or some boxing, or again, like cycling or something like that. Like, again, really just tuning into your body and saying like, what would love feel like? What do I need today? Again, really, really simplifies everything, and not saying it's easy, but when you come from that, it's like, it's really the only thing you ever need. And then finally, I just want to carry this over into life in general. Like I said, I think you can use this for every decision you make in your life. And this actually came up for me last Thursday night. So last Thursday, my husband was like, how about a date night tonight? Let's go out. And I was kind of like, I don't know. I was just pretty exhausted, you know, with the move and running my business, like, and, you know, my typical workouts and kind of running around and everything I had going on last week. Like, I was just kind of exhausted. And he was like, how about going out? And I was kind of like, and I knew deep down that that's not what I wanted. And I went out anyway. And not to go down a whole different tangent, but I ended up getting like food poisoning from that dinner, and I was like so sick in bed the next day on Friday. I was like really, really, really sick. Like, wouldn't wish it on anyone. And hopefully I never feel that way again. But anyway, I just was like it was definitely a lesson learned. And I knew that if I had honored what I really needed, I could have just been like, and my husband would have been cool with it. I just didn't speak up and I didn't really tune in. I didn't ask myself. I was like, nah, I can just go out. I'll roll with it. But like, I knew deep down that what love would have felt like that day, that night, would have been just like staying in, either making a healthy meal or like ordering some healthy takeout and like having like some quiet, just some like really chill time and getting a really good night's sleep. That's what I needed. And I didn't honor that, and it kind of taught me a lesson or backfired or whatever. Not saying that when you don't honor it, that's, you're doomed. But again, you can ask yourself, day to day or like weekends, it's like weekends, do I want to go out? Do I feel like getting, dressed up, going out, socializing, being out? Or is my energy kind of depleted and I just really need some like, I call it hermit time. Like, do I just need to kind of go inward and like chill out, maybe watch a movie? Like I said, get like a healthy dinner. It varies all the time. So really tuning in and really asking yourself with every decision you have to make, coming from that place of what would love feel like. I feel like it's just, again, such a gem, and it has completely shifted so many things for me, being able to tune in and come from that perspective and ask that question. And my clients absolutely love this too. So I have been wanting to hop on, especially since that came up for me on Thursday, was a personal lesson, and I will be a little bit more vigilant to honor what I know I need and to really tune in and practice what I preach. But I have been meaning to bring this message to you, so I hope you enjoy it. I hope you use this, and I would love to hear how it goes for you. I'd love to hear if this is a game changer for you or certain, aha moments or insights you have as you put this in practice. I highly, highly recommend it. When we're coming from this place, we really can't go wrong. It's really trusting our bodies, really trusting our intuition, and we all have that power. Like deep down, we all know what's best. And I know it's so easy to get caught up in like, tell me what to do, or feeling like, especially around like food, I notice people feel really helpless and feel really disempowered. And they're like, tell me what to do. I need the rules. Tell me what to eat. Really stepping back and like trusting yourself and honoring that and developing this relationship with your intuition, with your body, your intuition, with what your heart is saying, and really, really honoring that. So I invite you to start experimenting with it like now, like today, as soon as possible, put it into practice. It is so good. And again, I would love to hear any insights or any experience you have as you start to use this. I always love hearing your feedback and questions too. I am coming to you live more often, so if there are topics you want me to dive into or questions you want me to answer, don't hesitate to reach out. I love hearing from you guys. So until next time, sending you lots of love and light, and have an amazing day.